Okay, so you get to see my lovely face as I age. And I'm hot. And I'm going to get hotter once I start making that jam. Anyway, my little grandson wants me to show you his little car again. Oh, he can get much more creative than this, people. I've seen it. I just, he really likes Lego. So, okay, now I'm talking. So stay quiet, okay? So anyway, food storage makes a difference. Okay, that's the point of this video. Like I said, when my kids were younger, Andre, please don't, because Nana's tired, okay? When my kids were younger, I had food storage, but not to the degree that I have now. I think what pushed me to really prepare in the event of a disaster, natural, it kind of took Fukushima to do that, because I got very concerned about the contamination coming in to the Pacific Ocean. And then because I had 9 people at one point living in this house, I felt like, like my dad was here with his wife and then my kids. And then, I rented out one room at one point to a young person that needed some help. So we kind of did that through program development through the foundation. And then my daughter was here. She had the baby. And at one point, Andre's father was here. So I had anywhere between 8 and 9 people living here for several years on end. And that's a big responsibility to have, people, if in the event of a natural disaster, for whatever reason, and there's no food in the house. People already fight, but when they're hungry and they're feeling desperate, they tend to fight more. So I took it upon myself to prepare in the event of a disaster, right? It wasn't so much for the financial disaster as to what I'm finding myself in right now. To be honest with you, that never even crossed my mind. I never thought that I would be sitting 2 years later, well, not 2 years, this was 2011, a lot of this food. I mean, I'm still adding on and taking away and, buying in bulk here when I can, where I can. Like I'll buy, if I find peanut butter on sale, I'll buy anywhere between, 10 to 20 jars, depending on how much money I have. And of course, that's almost impossible to do these days, but I'm still drawing on some of this peanut butter that I bought like a year or 2 ago, right? Already eaten up the peanut butter that was bought in 2011, but besides that point, I never thought that I would have to do food storage for a financial crisis in terms of having no money to buy groceries, right? So in light of that, I think I'm still doing pretty good. And, I don't know if, not everybody is faced with having to, mother basically 8 people, 9 including yourself, right? Because you have to eat too, right? At some point. So maybe they don't need to the extent that I took it to. But back in those days, I made sure that there would have been enough rice, this, that, beans. I got tons of dried beans. I've still got rice. I still got lots of salmon. I've got tuna. I've got sardines, the proteins. I have, still the fruit. Maybe not. I've just started doing raspberries this year, but I've got lots of blackberries. Blueberries I haven't done for a couple of years, and like I said, Andre can eat those things like candy, right? He'll eat them just straight up blueberry dehydrated with nothing else, and he can chow down on those things, no problem. It helps to keep him healthy, but this time around I'm going to try and cook with those ones more. So I highly recommend that no matter the size of your family, to take some section of your home and set it up as your little food storage area. And nurture it, because, regardless of the disaster or the crises, at some point it's going to come in handy. And at worst, if you decide at worst, if it takes you too long to get back to it, because you packed it away and you forgot about it, depending on what it is, and in this case, celery, right, which I'm going to probably put in some of my soup today, 2011, so I'm going to crack this baby open, and I'm just going to throw some in my soup, and, I'm sure it will be fine. I'm sure it will be fine. So, that's all I got to say with that, and, yeah, I'll be back. Okay, people, this is July 29, 2016. I'm going to title this one Food Storage Works. Okay, I found myself a bag of sugar, so I only need one more bag, people. 2 bags should be enough for me, maybe 3 when the pears come. Definitely when the pears come, I might be looking at the 3rd bag, but outside of that, I can probably get away with just 2 bags. So I found one. I got some sushi rice. I found some, I didn't find it, people. This is my food storage, right? Ooh, this is a whole wheat. I would prefer, Andre, please stop. I would prefer white flour, which I have upstairs. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, so now we're going to go down the assembly line. This is what I brought up from downstairs yesterday night because I'm clearing out the basement for the kids, right? I got a lot of non-profit miscellaneous toys and, you know, and musical little instruments and guitars and tambourines and, you know, and just stuff and crafts. And so some of this stuff I'm going to end up giving away. But while I was down there, I got up into the food storage area, and this is what I brought up. Okay, so with some seaweed. This is a batter, right? And this is rice, you can see, right? Here's some, I made this in 2014, tomato sauce. There's Romano tomatoes in 2014. Technically, you want to take off the lids, but obviously I forgot that day. And then here's some pink salmon from 2013. Oops, sorry. 2013, right? So I have more of this, but I had to lock it up, people, because last year somebody got into it and stole half my canned salmon. So anyway, I just brought up the 1 jar for now because I have salmon upstairs. Was just doing a general food inventory. This here, Andre, I'm talking. We'll show that in a minute. This here doesn't have a label on it. It was in a different section in my little food storage area. I'm pretty sure this is yam, which is very good in rice, so that's what we're going to use. I don't know what this is. What is this? I don't know what this is. I have to open up and smell it. This here, this one's celery. Getting kind of old, but it's still okay. Right, so soups, that type of stuff. This here is, Andre, please. Andre had his hand in the background going like this because what he wants me to show you is this, people. He made himself a little police car or a van or something. He calls it, is this a police van?
No, it's a police car.
It's a new and approved police car. Okay, he just got a whole bunch of new Lego last night because I've got some more Lego downstairs that I gave him, so... Anyway, that's what he was bugging me to show you. So we'll be back to that in a second. So this here, a couple years ago, 2011. There you go. You can see it. Right? Red onion salt. In other words, that's just grounded up red onion. There's no salt in it. But by the time you do that, it becomes like a salt. Has never been opened, so it's going to be fresh. Fresh is the day you put it in there. You don't necessarily need those fresh packs. And if it gets to the point where you try it, you don't like it, just chuck it out. Because there's still nutritional value in there, right? This here is tomatoes. Back from those days. Right? A little cloudy in there. So I don't know. If I find bugs, it doesn't look like I see bugs in there, people. It's just been sitting down in food storage for a very long time. If there's bugs in there, obviously I won't eat it. That will go into compost. This here is like a Chinese vegetable of sorts. It's almost like a cross between a turnip and not a turnip, I'm pretty sure. Unless, of course, it's turnip, right? I think it's the other stuff. And then, a nice big beautiful thing of blueberries, 2011. And I have more downstairs yet. This Andre could eat in a week all by himself just for snacking. I'm going to try and use it for pancakes, muffins, waffles. Just hydrate them with a little bit of water and boom, they're good to go. Whether it's blackberry, blueberry, now I have raspberries. It's delicious, trust me. Okay? This is cherries that I did in 2011. This jar tends to be, I don't know. Every now and then in food storage, jars seem to sweat. So I don't know what's going on inside this jar. I don't know why it feels the way it feels. I notice sometimes that happens depending on where you put them. Now, this isn't secured completely tight, so it's hard to say. It's dehydrated, though. Brought up some olive oil. I have more upstairs, but I'm just kind of clearing out and making space for jars ready to come. This is some old Yang Ying preserved beans. which is fine because it's in salt and garlic, right? Rice, cocoa. Here's some miscellaneous cans. And since I'm making pies, I brought up another one of these. I have already upstairs shortening and lard, but we'll be using that. Then there's some potatoes. I'm making pork neck soup right now. Pork neck, you know, bones, right, with soup and bay leaf, and you'll see. So this is ground coffee. I'm craving some. Uncle John's been gone, and I ran out of coffee, and I don't buy coffee, and I don't have money for coffee. I've been craving coffee because I started drinking coffee when he was around, right? So I don't drink a lot of coffee, but I do drink coffee, and so I decided to bring that up. And since it's 2011, I'm going to percolate myself some coffee. Here is some golden syrup, right? I have other things downstairs as well, but I thought I'd bring that up. There's our famous blackberries. You can see the jars are piling up. I was going to use this. Andre, please, I'm almost done. Can you see this jar, people? Now, I've washed it. I've bleached it. I'm thinking this is something in the jar itself before, you know, because I want to take these blackberries, right, and all of them, and put them in a larger container and then seal them up, because I have still from 11, 12, 13, 14, right? This is my backup emergency. You know, if it really shit hits the fan, we've got it, right? And again, you know, like, I don't know, I'm going to make jam, but for the amount of space that it takes to make jam compared to dehydrating, and I'm telling you people, you wrap them up, you seal them up, you tape them up, you do whatever, they'll sit for years, and when you open them up, they'll taste like you just put them in. At least for berries. Maybe not so much for this stuff because it's a greenery of some kind. I'm not sure what this is. I guess I could open it up. But you can see it wasn't sealed very well, so that's probably why it turned. Smells like maybe cabbage. It smells like cabbage to me. Right? You could still sprinkle that in soup. Think of the old Chinese or the old Japanese herb stores, right? Where they have like ancient herbs sitting in jars that have been sitting there for 25 years. Not to say that you'd want to eat that 25 years later. But it's not that old, and if it's really that bad, just, you know, compost it, right? And then, because I'm making soup and things are growing in the garden, Nana broke your car, you're going to have to fix it, Andre, right? Sorry. I got some stuff from the garden. There's the raspberries that I'm dehydrating to fill up this jar, because I still have raspberries frozen, so I don't need more frozen raspberries. But as you can see, every 2 days, this is what I get off my bush in the back. Right? Oops, sorry. Off my bush in the back. Right? So those are going to go in the dehydrator after I pick a few more blackberries, because I'm not done dehydrating blackberries. Although today, I'm going to start making the blackberry jam with the plums that are falling off the tree in the front. And before I start the apple pies, because I got into the basement yesterday. Sorry. I got into the basement yesterday, so needless to say, I never got into apple pies. But I'm working on it, right? And lucky me, like I said, I found some sugar. So this is bay leaf from my little bay leaf tree that's in the greenhouse. And then this is the Cuban oregano, right? This is parsley seeds. There's some peas. Here we've got beans for, for the soup. Here's a few more. Right, pretty soon I'm going to have to can a couple more cans. And then, okay, hold on, I'll show in a minute. I already put some fennel seeds in the broth. There's some fennel leaf, weed, or whatever you call it. There's some there goes the screen, scared me. There goes the, okay, so hold on. Anyway, now I can't see nothing. Well, okay. So, here, there's that invasive plant. But because I don't have celery or any kind of stock, I don't even have really fresh onion on me, because the little bit of onion I did have, somebody ate it. So I've decided I'm going to take some of this and use it in replace of the celery, right, for the soup that I'm making. Okay, Andre, please don't do this. Andre, move. Okay, and then I brought up a bucket, raisin, and other dried fruit, prunes. You can see the stuff doesn't go bad, right? I know. I thought you'd like this one. Raisins. These ones Andre really likes. That's sun-made, right? So we've got that, and we've got some mango slices and stuff, and more raisins, I just thought I'd bring this up anyway because it's been sitting down there for quite a while. More raisins. It looks like 4 or 5 bags of raisins and then another big bag of raisins. So we've got raisins coming out of our ears here.
My thing.
Here's my son. And then we've got 17 cans of coconut, 6 cans of baby corn, and 8 cans of sardines that I brought up. And a nice big bag of rice. I'll be back, people.
No.
Okay, so I had to deal with my son there, right? Got home from work. Anyway, garlic 2012. I don't think I showed that to you. So this is great for me, right? And then the cucumbers are growing, people, as you can see. I don't like the fact that the bag is sweating. You don't want the bag with cucumbers sweating because it will make them go slimy, right? So, I don't know. When they say put the cucumbers in a bag, in a Ziploc bag, put them in the fridge, pile them up, I don't know if they leave the bag open or what, but for myself, I would highly recommend leaving your bag open when you do this, right? Now, mind you, I rinsed those things off, but I thought I had let them dry. But as you can see, this is how many more I got. Whoops, there goes the screen again. As you can see how many more I picked just today. Obviously, I want to do canning. Andre, please. I'm trying to get this screen to work. Obviously, I'm trying to do canning here at some point. In some ways, it's better if you can just find the cucumbers on sale. Do it that way, which I'll probably end up doing anyway because my kids like pickles. But I don't have to worry about that just yet. I got to take care of the apples and the plums and the pears as they come. And I mean, obviously, I'll do a couple of those. I'm still going to do some more beans as they come. Then I found this as I was going downstairs, going through my stuff, making a better room for the kids down there. I found a little old tank top that I made back in probably 2005 for young kids, youth, right? This looks like maybe a 12-year-old or something, right? You can see. So these ones here, since I don't have a lot of time to sew right now, are going to the States. What's the matter with this one? Oh, this one's not even finished. So I guess I should finish this one. Well, that one's going to go to the States. And then, I don't know what's in here. Just nothing there. Just the trim for that. So there's two little tank tops anyway that are going to go to the States, right? And then I do have another box downstairs that I thought came up, but it hasn't, so I'm going to have to bring that up. And it's got like canned tomatoes and beans and that type of stuff. That type of stuff. I prefer canned tomatoes, homemade, because you're getting away from that lining inside the can. And the acid of the tomato over a long period of time, whether it's ketchup, doesn't matter, will eat through the can eventually. Whereas in this situation, not so much, except for maybe what's going on underneath the lid, and even then it would just be oxidization, which wouldn't be necessarily dangerous for you, right? Whereas I've had a can of ketchup that sat in a can for a long time, and it was starting to seep through the lid in different spots, out through the lid as if it had pores. So, but don't forget to take off your rims, right? Like in this situation. Hold on a minute. Just hold on.